Every one of us is a typical human being in oneself. No one among us is just the same as another. A person differing from others is understandable, but how and why a person differs is less clear and is therefore a subject of the study of individual differences. Individuals follow different paths as they progress towards expert understanding because they learn differently based on their gender, ethnicity, learning styles, previous knowledge, and experiences with content, strategies, and technology. The differences that separates them may be termed as individual differences. So today, let's learn about individual differences. But first, here are the objectives as we move forward with our discussion. First, identify some sources of individual differences in cognitive development of learners. Second, differentiate the types of individual differences. And lastly, evaluate the role of schools in facilitating individual differences of learners. Without further ado, let's start the discussion. So what is individual differences? Individual differences stands for the variations or deviations among individuals in regards to a single characteristics or a number of characteristics according to Carter B. Good. Another definition for individual differences according to Woodworth R.S. and Marcus D.G. is found in physical, mental abilities, personality, character traits. So let's move on to the types of individual differences. First one in the list is the physical differences. Shortness or tallness of stature, darkness or fairness of complexion, fatness, thinness, or weakness in various physical and individual differences are considered physical differences. Second, differences in intelligence. There are differences in intelligence level among different individuals. We can classify the individuals from super or normal above 120 IQ to below normal from 0 to 50 IQ on the basis of their intelligence level. Third, differences in attitudes, beliefs, and opinions. Individuals are found to possess varying attitudes towards different people, objects, ideas, groups, institutions, and authority. The fourth one is differences in achievement. It has been found through achievement tests that individuals differ in their achievement abilities. These differences are very much visible in reading, writing, and in learning mathematics. These differences are on account of the differences in the various factors of intelligence and the differences in the various experiences, interests, and educational background. Fifth one is differences in motor ability. There are differences in motor ability. These differences are visible at different ages. Some people can perform mechanical tasks easily, while others, even though they are at the same level, feel much difficulty in performing the tasks. 6. Differences based on gender. McNamara and Thurman discovered the following differences between men and women on the basis of some studies. Women have greater skill in memory, while men have greater motor ability. Handwritten of women is superior, while men excel in mathematics and logic. Women are superior to men in languages, while men are super hot in physics and chemistry. Women are more susceptible to suggestion, while there are 3 times as many colorblind men as there are to women. Going to number 7, racial differences. Differences of environment are a normal factor in accusing these differences. Laura Brigham has composed a list on the basis of differences in levels of intelligence among people who have migrated to United States from other countries. On the basis of these average differences between the takes, the mental age of a particular individual cannot be calculated since this difference is based on environment. 8. Differences due to nationality. Individuals of different nations differ in respect of physical and mental differences, interest, and personality. Examples: Russians are tall and stout, Sicilians are short and slim, Germans have no sense of humor, yellow races are cruel and revengeful, Americans are hearty and frank, Indians are timid and peace-loving, and the like observations enter onto out common talk. Going for number 9, difference due to economic status. Differences in children's interests, tendencies, and characters are caused by economic differences. 10. Difference in interests. Factors such as sex, family background, level of development, differences of race and nationality, and the like causes differences in interests of individuals. 11. Emotional differences. Individuals differ in their emotional reactions to a particular situation. Some are irritable and aggressive and they get very angry. There are others who are of peaceful nature and do not get angry easily. At a particular thing, an individual may be so much enraged that he may be prepared for the worst crime like murder, while other persons may only laugh at it. Lastly, personality differences. On the basis of differences in personality, individuals have been classified into many groups. Spranger has classified personalities into 6 types as theoretical, economic, aesthetic, social, political, and religious. Likewise, many psychologists have differentiated personalities of humans under various categories based on their observations and studies. It is an admitted fact that some people are honest, others are dishonest, some are aggressive, others are humble, some are social, others likes to be alone, some are critical, and others are sympathetic. Personality are dependent on personality traits. Thus, teachers should keep in mind these differences while imparting education to the students. Moving forward, we have the determinants of individual differences. Every human being is born as a result of conception, which takes place due to certain biological factors and processes. The child carries with himself several physiological and psychological peculiarities that are present in the parents. Next is environment. Environment is nothing but the sum total of the surroundings in which an individual has to live. Psychologically, an individual's environment is related to all those stimuli which he faces from the moment of fertilization till death. So now, what are the role of the school? The role of the schools in meeting the individual differences according to Crow and Crow is to provide adequate schooling for every learner no matter how much he differs from every other learner. So, how does the school provide adequate schooling for every learner? Number 1, the school must have proper knowledge of the individual potentialities. Another, the school adjusts the curriculum that would fit and that is adequate for the individual differences of the learners. Number 3, adjusting the methods of teaching. Teachers embraces differentiation in teaching approaches. Number 4, ability for grouping. And number 5, adapting special programs or methods for individualizing instruction. School must be adequate and service-able where the learners well and progress rapidly and that fosters inclusion in the classroom. Otherwise, students or pupils will be retarded in learning. Lastly, the educational implications of individual differences. In any group, there are individuals who deviate from the norms of the group. Along with the average, the presence of very superior and extremely dull is equally possible in a class. Every teacher should try to have the desired knowledge of the abilities, capacities, interests, attitudes, aptitudes, and other personality traits of his students, and in the light of this knowledge, should render individual guidance to children for the maximum utilization of their potentialities. It is wrong to expect uniformity in gaining proficiency or success in a particular field from a group of students on account of their subnormal intelligence, previous background, lack of proper interest, aptitude, and attitude, etc. Some students lag behind in one or the other area of achievement. Lastly, all students cannot be benefited by a particular method of instruction and a uniform and rigid curriculum. Each student is a unique individual, different in cognitive and affective development, social maturity, learning styles, interests, and potentials. In view of these factors, catering for individual differences is intended neither to narrow down the gap between individuals nor to even out their abilities and performance. It should aim for understanding why students are able or unable to learn well and finding appropriate ways to help them learn better. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope this discussion helps us understand individual differences.